Hello, this is Graphing Linear Equations, Graphing Using Intercepts, Example 4. Example 4 is a story problem about the submarine, a submersible, and it says that the submersible is at 13,000 feet below sea level, and then it's going to ascend, so it's going to come up to the top, and it's going to go 600 feet per minute. And they gave us the equation here. The elevation in feet is equal to 650 times the time, because the time is in minutes, because each minute it's going to go up 650, and the minus 13,000 is where it started. And we have to find the intercepts of the graph. So the e-intercept is going to be when the time is 0. So the e-intercept is when the time is equal to 0. So let's figure that out. We're going to have e is equal to 650 times 0 minus 13,000. So 650 times 0 is 0, so the e-intercept is e is equal to minus 13,000. And we have to say what this represents, and the e-intercept is going to represent where the submersible starts. So I'm going to say where the sub starts. Okay, now the t-intercept is going to be where e equals 0. So the equation is e equals 650t minus 13,000. And this time we have to let e be 0. So 0 is equal to 650t minus 13,000. Now, we've solved a lot of equations like this. I'm going to switch these just so that it looks a little more familiar to us. 650t minus 13,000 equals 0. So now to solve this, I'll add 13,000 to both sides, and I end up with 650t equals 13,000. So to get t equals, I have to do 13,000 divided by 650. And that equals 20. So t equals 20 is the t-intercept, and that's going to be the time when the elevation is 0. See, when the elevation is 0, so this is going to be, and that's going to be minutes, so this is going to be the time when the sub is at the surface. Okay, so we've answered their questions about the intercepts, and now it says graph the function and identify its domain and range. So I've made a graph for us here. This is the elevation. The formula E equals 650t minus 1300. That means E is ordinarily where our y is, and t is ordinarily where our x is. And the e-intercept is minus 13,000. The e-intercept is minus 13,000. So I'll graph that. It's right there. And the t-intercept this is the t-axis, is equal to 20 minutes. So the t-intercept is there, and now I can graph this. And that's the graph. The last thing we have to do is identify the domain and the range. So the domain is where this goes, and based on our function, the domain goes from 0 to 20. So the domain is t is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, and t is less than or equal to 20. See, it goes from 0 to 20. And the range, that's where this goes. And the range is E is greater than or equal to negative 13,000, and E is less than or equal to 0. That's the domain and the range.